All right, let's put on some toner and let's laminate these brows. Who's getting ready with me? Tapping on that screen for me. Grabbing my number one and my number two up there. If it's your first time here, let me know what city and state you guys are from. I'm like, why can't I hear anything from this ear? But now I just realized I have my headset still in here. I'm like, why do I feel like I'm only hearing myself on half my ear? And it's because I'm only hearing myself on half my ear. Hi, my love. Hey, baby. To see you back. Yeah, I had to I have a 12 o'clock, so I was like, let me hurry it up. I was like on the streets and I was like, let me hurry up, let me go home, let me get beat to the gods. She said she was gonna come around 12, so probably like 12:30, hopefully, so we can at least have 30 minutes to do our makeup. We're gonna do let's do like a full glam. I think I want to do like a full glam kind of brown, smoky, sultry eye with like a deep purple lip liner. I think something like that. I want to do something like super sultry, okay? So let's hydrate the skin. Vamos a hacer algo como que súper dramático, algo súper como que estruendoso. Vamos a hacer un maquillaje súper out there, okay? Pero vamos a hacer glowy. Let's do like a glowy undertone. So primero vamos a usar the Lazy Cosmetics Body Glow. I mean, not Body Glow. The Lazy Cosmetics Daily Holy Hydration Moisturizer to bring that hydration into the skin. Remember, most important thing is skincare, you guys. So I'm doing the daily hydration that has hyaluronic acid in it. This is the moisturizer from my brand, but you guys can use whatever works for you. Vamos a lo que sea que le funcione a ustedes, pero esta es la crema humectante de mi marca. Then we're going to go in with the collagen cream, la crema de colágeno. And I'm only like to put in collagen since I do 4 different moisturizers. I'm going to put it in my frown lines, in my crow's feet, and in my 11 lines. If it's your first time here, let me know what city and state you guys are from so I can give you guys a quick little shout out. Hola, bienvenida, ¿cómo están? ¿Cómo están? I want to turn on music, but normally when I turn on music, then my thing gets banned. Tapping on that screen for me. Your skin is looks so good. Thank you, my love, but it's a lot of hydration. The wig looks so good after you installed it yesterday. Thank you, my love. Thank you for coming back, my love. I didn't even style it, so I'll style it. I tried to melt it. 'Cause like I said, I was in these streets yesterday. I mean, this morning. So I'm gonna go in with the Lazy Cosmetics collagen cream, and this is gonna continue to make my skin look healthy, dewy, and creamy. And you only need very little. Solo un poquitico, no necesitan mucho. Next thing little dot, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna mix it. And this is gonna give me that J-Lo glow without the J-Lo price. And this helps the hyperpigmentation, the discoloration in the skin. And I like to let the moisturizers and all these things settle onto my skin before going in there and putting on makeup. So I like this to sit for at least 10 to 15 minutes. And then I'm going to put in the sunblock. And we're going to use the Eco 100% sunblock. And like I said, I like all this to settle into my skin. Me gusta dejar que todo esto reposa entre la piel because a lot of times you do all this to your skin and then you go in with your primers and stuff like that. And then I feel like it didn't settle into your skin. So I like to go and do my eyes now. So we're going to do our brows. And we're gonna chisel our brows, so we're gonna go in with the Lazy Cosmetics brow powder. What was the green product you used to apply? Is our cucumber cream. It is our moisturizer that is on our website or on our TikTok shop. It's 19.99 for the full bottle. But we do have a travel set for $25 that brings the toner, the moisturizer, the collagen cream, the cleanser, and the scrub for $25. If you want to try out all the products, you can go to our creams and go to our travel section, and then you can try it. Pretty much like how it comes in like sample sizes of all of the 5 basic moisturizers if you wanted to try that. But just that cream itself, the full size is about a 6 month supply, is 19.99, and it's on our website, lazycosmeticsf.com. All right, so we're gonna start with our eyebrows. As you guys saw, I laminated my brows already. And now we're gonna chisel these brows. Thank you, my love. The most beautiful eyes on YouTube. Ay, thank you, but they're contacts. They are contacts, baby girl. They are not mine. God did not give them to me, but He gave me the money to purchase them. Trust me, I wish I had these eyes, although I can have them for $19,000, right? If I just wanted an eye surgery. But see the way that my pockets work, and my coin works, I'm not there yet in life. How are you guys? But if I had the coin, I think I would get the eye surgery. But I don't know if I would go this light. Just because, contrary to popular belief, I don't know if I want all this attention all this time, because I know being dark, everybody, the first thing they'll be like, oh my God, is that your eye? Like they would harass you everywhere. Like even when I have contacts, they harass me like, oh my God, your eyes are so beautiful. So it's like one more thing to have people like harass you for it. Me not being an attention seeker, obviously. But you know what I can do with $19,000? A lot of stuff. You could build a whole house with $19,000. A little tiny house. But hey, if you have the coin and you have the money, then why not use it on whatever it is that you want? If that is your prerogative. But I may need eye surgery, but like for my vision. So that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't put myself past getting eye surgery. And if they can give me a 2-for-1 deal, then hey, why not? I really love your skin, your eyes. You're beautiful. Ay, gracias. Thank you, my love. Gracias, mis vidas. Gracias, gracias. Y'all gonna make me get in my head today. You know, today is Friday. And today I wasn't feeling 100, but you guys are making me feel así todo bonita y bella. Gracias, gracias, mis vidas. Me están motivando el ego. Normally I get hate, but today I'm getting love, so I gotta take it when I can. I gotta take it when I can. Gracias, mi vida. The green product used to apply. Let me see. Yes, girl, feel 100. Girl, I was talking to like 2 customers, and next week my schedule is over the moon. Oh, so next week, I think on what day is it gonna be? On Maybe I'll wake up early. All depends. When they send me the address, I'm gonna figure out if I'm gonna come live at 7 or I'm gonna come live maybe at 6 in the morning. Might be too early for you guys, but I have a super African wedding to do next week. So I'm going to be super, super, super busy. So I don't know if I'm going to come live before I just go do the makeups, or if I'm going to do like, I'm going to for sure film while I'm there. I don't know how much content I'm going to film, but I don't think I'm going to go live, like I said, because sometimes you guys have no filter on you guys. And I don't like to expose my clients to people with no filters. Meaning like my customers have gotten like offended before, you guys, or people being mean or saying like, oh, they don't have any fix, or that person looks horrible, or whatever. And I don't really like to expose my customers to that. So that's why normally I don't go live with my customers unless my customer is like used to going live and or stuff like that, then I'll feel more comfortable. But if they don't, then normally I'll just film for you guys. But for sure, I'm gonna film content. But I have so many people to do. So it's pretty much the whole weekend. I'm starting Wednesday and then Thursday and Friday for sure. And then the other lady told me that they may have a Saturday event. So I'm going to see if I'm going to do also the Saturday. and for how long. But I know for sure the Thursday event, I mean, the Wednesday event, I'm only supposed to be doing 2 people and really early in the morning. I think this is for like the photo shoot, the pre-photo shoots. You know, African weddings are like super over the top. Sabes que las bodas de los africanos are like super over the top. So I think they're gonna do like I'm not doing the bride. I don't know who's doing the bride, but I'm happy I'm not doing the bride, but I'm doing the bride's mother and the bride's mother's sister, I think, is who I'm actually really doing for the wedding. So I'm technically, I guess, a second makeup artist. I'm not the first. And I don't want to be the first because number one, I don't have any energy for it. And then number two, I don't want to be on site for so long. Although on Thursday, I'm going to be on site for way longer because I have 7 customers to do. So I'm going to be there pretty much all day, kind of affair. And then I'm going to do most of the bridal party. But like I said, I don't really want to be on my customers here. I don't really want to be. Oh no, it's not her. Can you guys still hear me? So I don't really want to be on set for that long. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so we did the eyebrows, we cleaned it up, and now we're gonna go in with the Photo Finish Foundation that you guys know is my magic eraser, top and bottom of the brow. So then on Thursday, I'm gonna do like 6 people on Thursday. That's more the people of the court and stuff like that. And then on Friday is the actual wedding. And then again, I'm doing 6 people again. And then supposedly she said there might be 3 other people. So it depends on the time and if they're coming to, if they're all showing up to the same hotel room or wherever. But like I said, I'm gonna be super, super, super busy this week off site and doing the wedding. So I don't mind it because I do want to get into doing a lot more booking events like that, just because it's more concentrated now that I no longer have like a physical store. But at the same time, I don't know how much my body will hold up to that. And that is my biggest concern. Whom That is my biggest concern. I don't know how my body's really gonna hold up to having like to do a full 3 hours back to back of work without stopping that I haven't done ever since December. December was the last time that my body really took that toll. But remember, I haven't had my infusions since November. So that was only 1 month of me being out of me taking the heavy amounts of drugs that I was on that was keeping me good. Now it's been 4 months, almost 4 months pretty much, without me having that super medication. So now my legs are shaking. It's not the same. Like I don't have the same stability or energy that I had before. So now also I'm trying to think or concentrate in myself. I'm trying to evaluate if I should go up on my doses of steroids. So just making sure that I make it through this week, because obviously I don't want to miss out on the event, the exposure, or the money. And obviously I already committed to it. How long have you had lupus? So I've had lupus for about 7 years now. So I've had it for about 7 years, but it was pretty much under control for the past 3.5 years. It's been pretty steady and under control because I was on a really big, heavy dose of infusions that I was taking every 2 weeks. That literally was $4,000 every 2 weeks. That medication. So I was on it for 3.5 years, and that worked pretty well. But in December, my doctor decided to quit her job, her practice, and then they didn't take my insurance anymore. So then I had to find a new doctor. And then between the time that I found a new doctor and my insurance will reapprove it and make it January and all this stuff, I'm still been waiting 4 months for this whole big process. So the person who's been suffering for the past 4 months because doctor decided to quit was me. So now I'm still waiting. I'm supposedly by the second, I'm supposed to start now. My doctor finally approved it or whatever. She's waiting for another liver test or whatever. And then she's gonna approve it just because I've been on the medication for so long. She wanted to make sure that it wasn't affecting my kidneys and all these things. So she wanted to do all these tests before she put me back on the same medication. So now, once I go back on the medication, I know I'll be like all better again in a way, but at the same time, there's no cure. So I was hoping, like I've taken these 3 months to try all type of natural cures and natural supplements and all these things, to try to cure myself naturally, but technically it hasn't worked. Like I said, I'm still able to walk and for the most part live normally, but I am constantly in still a lot of more pain than I would have been if I was on the infusion. I could live my life. I don't want to say pain free, but for me, pain free. Knowing that I'm still sick, but nowhere close to being in the pain that I'm in now. Love the shadow, the shade. Well, we don't have eyeshadow on just yet. We are just using concealer. All right, I have too much concealer on the brush, so we're going to clean off the brush just to dab off some of this extra concealer because we don't want it to be too packed either. No queremos demasiado producto en las cejas tampoco, so it doesn't get clumpy and it doesn't move. You want it to be just a slight layer all over the lid. You're a strong woman. I trust me. I'm not as strong as I seem sometimes. Trust me. I fail. I get tired just like everybody else. I want to give up just like everybody else, but I know and I understand at the end of the day that giving up is not going to help anybody. Crying about the situation, unfortunately, doesn't help anybody. Saying why me or, finding excuses ain't going to change absolutely nothing. All I can do is just continue to move on, battle, and to live my life to the best of my abilities, to give my kid, my husband, my family, myself the best fighting chance that I have at my sanity and opportunity. Everybody goes through something. Maybe you guys are not going through the same exact thing that I'm going through or something mentally, but everybody goes through their own battles and everybody's battles looks, harsh in their own way. Yes, maybe I do feel in my mind that a lot of people could not put up with half the shit or half the pain that I go through, but I don't know what other people's feels. That's right. You have to be strong and survive. Yeah, I know, like, I feel like at the end of the tunnel, God has something for me, and all of this hopeful thinking and positive mentality is going to get me to where I want to be eventually. And if there is a magical cure out there, it's going to get to me and I'm going to find it. And maybe it's taking me longer than what I ever dreamed, hoped, or expected. But I believe that with will and determination and hope, that I'll get there. Even if it's getting to 90% of where I was before, I'll be happy. Yes, I believe in you. Thank you. Thank you for believing in me. Okay, let's see. Anyways, I said I wanted to do like a bronze. Okay, I see you guys get me out of context. And you guys are gonna make me want to cry. I don't want to cry today. Today is not that day, okay? I don't want to get all sentimental and crap with you guys. Let me see if this is enough of an ashy orange. We'll use this as a base color. If it's your first time here, let me know what city and state you guys are from so I can give you guys a quick little shout out. Si es la primera vez acá, dígame de dónde son, de dónde vienen, de dónde me ven. Recuérdense, todo lo que digo en español lo estoy diciendo en inglés. No se están perdiendo de absolutamente nada. Todo el mundo aquí en TikTok, give thumbs up, tapping on that screen for me, grabbing my number 1, my number 2, putting FYP in the comments in the comment section for me. Hi from Jersey. Welcome, my love. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If it's your first time here, let me know what city and state you guys are from. And remember, when I say it in Spanish, I say it the same thing in English. I'm just trying to cater to everybody. I wish I had music on, but I can't. You know what? Let me turn on this fan. It's getting hot. It's getting hot in here. So take off all your clothes. All makeup channels love they do just like my makeup channels. I'm from India. Welcome from India. You guys super good support even though there be haters. I know. You guys love me. And I love you guys so much. You guys don't even understand that this is the reason why I come back to you guys. Is because I truly know that there's more of you guys that love me than the ones that just want to hate on me. So I'm always here for you guys for that reason because trust me, sometimes I feel like screw everybody, screw everything, and I'm gonna stay in my bed and let the world burn. But I know that some of you guys need to hear my amazing words sometimes. You guys need my motivation kick in the ass to tell you guys that you guys are amazing, that you guys can do anything, that you guys have everything that I wish I had. That's number one thing is health. So other than that, everything is possible. You guys can fix your money problems, your relationship problems, your everything problems. The hardest thing to fix in the world is a health problem. Let's say or a perfect example is the one who owned Apple or whatever his name is, Bezos. He died of a cancer, having all the money in the world, being one of the richest men in the world, and he couldn't cure himself of cancer. You know what I'm saying? So you cannot fix yourself of diseases. You can have all the money in the world, and probably him being so stressed and trying to be the best and this and that gave him that disease. You know what I'm saying? Because disease comes, I think the number one killer in the world is stress, you guys. And I do believe I got my disease from being stressed, having companies, having stores, thinking that everything was my responsibility to the point that I almost died over it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm paying the consequences of it. So honor everything that you have and just know that everything will pass. Every day is a new day and a new beginning. Okay, now I think my customer's here. Now I think my customer's here. But I'll wait till she knocks. I should have left the door open so I don't have to walk all the way to the front door. So I'm gonna come live after. If it's her, I'm gonna come live after she leaves. But let's wait to see if she knocks. I saw somebody pull up in my driveway. Give your life to Jesus. This is the Trust me, my life is given to Jesus Christ. He has it, He's taken it, He's absorbed it. He is everything in a box of Cheerios in my vida. I can't give Him no more than what I've given Him to my last breath. I just need Jesus to come down and give me that healing hand over this body. And I know it's up to me, enough to my faith of a mustard seed, but it's easier said than done. All of those theories. All right, we're gonna go right under the brow bone, right under the brow bone. I guess maybe it wasn't my customer. I saw somebody drive by the driveway. All right, we're gonna apply mascara now because you guys know que soy un reguero con mascara. We're gonna get makeup remover and we're gonna clean off any little accents. Clean, clean, clean. And I was gonna do a brown, and then at the end I didn't even do a brown. I guess we'll do a brown smoky eye tomorrow. Makeup channels are the best. No persons can even put makeup channels down. I know, right? It's something like I feel like peaceful out of other people's doing their makeup or other people like doing daily tasks that just kind of puts your mind at ease or at zen. Like me, to be honest, personally, I don't watch too many tutorials anymore or lives anymore just because I'm so addicted to like my books and trying to take myself out of my own reality and into my fantasy worlds. And then the rest of the time I'm into Dominican chisme. So it's like one totally different than the other. Because sometimes we have to go into other people's, like, I don't want to say business, but other people's lives to like get out of our own heads and know that we're not alone, that everybody's going through something and everybody's trying to survive in their own little crazy way. And there's nothing that we're doing wrong with our lives. So it's kind of easy for us to see ourselves and other people. But what I don't recommend is to try to live your life based on somebody else's lives. or somebody else's experiences. Yes, I do believe that we should learn from other people's mistakes in a lot of ways, but at the same time, we cannot stop living our lives because what other people may think or what other people did or did not do in their lives, you know? Remember, everything that we do in our lives molds us to be the person that we are. That's why in a lot of ways, hold on, let's see. What kind of books do you read? So I like reading, I'm dyslexic, so I read audiobooks and I'm like super addicted to audiobooks. So I read more fantasy books in a way, like love, like Fated Mates, like probably in the last month or so, I've read 20 books. I'm like addicted to reading audiobooks. But I like I'm more like a romance book kind of person, like, Fated Mates, and because I feel like sometimes real love is like super hard to find and have like that eternal thing, even though I feel like a lot of them are kind of like basic or the same or super predictable. I still go for that. I don't like billionaire books and stuff like that. The reason why is because sometimes I feel like it's so silly and I feel like it's so unhopeful for all these little girls in the world to be looking for millionaire guys to resolve their lives, you know? If you're meeting a freaking billionaire who's freaking rich and filthy rich and, single, no kids, no this and that, listen, he has plenty of issues. And most of those millionaires in those books do have plenty of issues, but you look over the red flags for all of the wrong reasons. But in real life, if you find a freaking 35-year-old billionaire CEO with no kids, fine as hell, six pack out this world. Trust me, he got plenty of issues. You are super pretty. Are you carrying with the weight of your beauty? Too much makeup. I don't even have 1 ounce of makeup on yet. All I have is eyeshadow. Like, I have no makeup on. How is this too much makeup? Come on now. I know I have beautiful, flawless skin, but let's be realistic. Linda makeup she has on is plain. I personally think trust sometimes wrong with her if you find a billionaire with a six pack. Something's wrong with him if you find a billionaire with a six pack. No, I don't mean it that way. If you find a millionaire with a six pack, I don't mean it that way because that's not true. There's a lot of millionaires out there with a six pack. It's not that. Is what I mean is like if you think he's like a 10, like he's the finest man in the whole wide world, and he's like a billionaire, and he's like 40 years old or 35 years old, and he's like the biggest CEO around, and he has no women around, and there's nobody, after him, and he doesn't want any other woman, and then he just finds you, and he's like obsessed with you, and you're the only woman he's ever gonna look at. Like those things are like super one in a million, unrealistic kind of crap. You know what I'm saying? But obviously, if there is a billionaire out there and he's like 27, he's a billionaire and he's self-made, trust me, he is determined, he is focused, he's not, crazy about all these women. Like there's things, How was your love story with your husband? Why don't you answer? I mean, it's that way. They single for a reason. Yeah, most of the time they're single for a reason. So my love story with my husband is a very beautiful love story. If you go to my stories, you would hear my story with my husband. We've been together for 13, almost 14 years, and he is my second marriage, my second chance mate. I would say, and I do think that he is the love of my life. There's ups and downs. He is nowhere perfect, but our love story and is like any other high active. My Polly is a love story that a lot of people say that shouldn't be what it is, but it is. But anyways, okay, I'll tell you my love story in a second. Let me put on the eye cream and then let's put on the primer. Let's go in with let's try this primer again and let's try let's do a dewy look. So let's try the She Glam primer. You're a natural beauty. Thank you, my love. She looks just like flawless to me. Thank you, my love. But I'm gonna be super flawless now, okay? We're gonna do the She Glam primer. And like I said, this primer, if you don't like dewy skin, then this might not be for you. Si no le gusta la piel como que grasosa o así súper brillosa, capaz este no es el primer para ti, porque este primer sí es bien cremoso y bien aceitoso. Okay. So primer always, 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 always. Okay. So then I'm gonna do the Lazy Cosmetics Body Glow. That's the same to work. You're a natural. Okay. So anyway, so back to my love story, aka. So I'm gonna go in with the Lazy Cosmetics Body Glow because I'm gonna do like a dewy finish. I mean, I'm gonna always mat it down because we're gonna do the powder like we normally do, but I want it to be like kind of dewy from within. So we're gonna use the Lazy Cosmetics Body Glow. I'm gonna use the color in natural. Anyway, so I met my husband one night at a nightclub in Miami. I was divorced for about what, 6 months. Yeah, I had just gotten a divorce from my first husband for 5 years. And in that relationship, I learned exactly what I didn't want from a man and I didn't want it in a relationship, whatever. So one night because me and my best friends were like club girls, we were those annoying girls at the club in every VIP that I would literally not go to a club if you didn't pay my bottle service, my VIP, my valet parking. That was me. Back in the day, that used to be me. All right, so look how glowy and beautiful and natural my skin is. So if you guys would like a natural finish with barely any color in it, the Lazy Cosmetic Natural Body Glow. There you go. So I'm gonna do the LA Girl Color Concealer as a foundation. This is a great hack, long wear, and today is Friday, so we're gonna wear this. I'm using the color 325 Warm. Um, I always use vitamin C and vitamin E daily cream to keep the skin looking flawless. That is very good. I use vitamin C every day too. Our Lazy Cosmetics cucumber cream is a vitamin C. And it's really vitamin C is really good for hyperpigmentation, discoloration. And you guys know since I once I did that cleanse, it gave me like a little bit of acne here. And I'm still working on removing those marks. And we're getting there slowly but surely. So we're using the body glow, the concealer as a foundation all over it first. And this is a buildable concealer, but I'm not going to build it up too much. We just want to make sure that we have just enough coverage to make it water resistant and just flawless. I don't know why when I went shopping, I guess I got everything like super tan because I bought this the same day I bought the tint yesterday and apparently I was either very dark that day or I don't know, but it's okay. Summer's almost here, so it's being more tan, it's fine. As you can see, it pretty much covered my hyperpigmentation, the discoloration. You still see a little bit of hyperpigmentation and a little bit of that, but with the photo finish, we're gonna cover it all so we don't have to pick up the skin. What I do like about this concealer that since it's a liquid, it's not heavy whatsoever, and it doesn't feel like you barely have anything on, even though I did put a good amount of product on. What eyeshadow palette did you use? So I used the Lazy Cosmetics blush palette, and then I used one of our other palettes, but that one's sold out. And it's the shy. The main lid color is from our shy palette that's sold out. Can we get the like 60 shades of can we get the I don't know. Please, you guys, get me to 60 likes over here, right? There is 76 people on here. All you have to do is press that little thumbs up button over there. Thank you, my love. Um, so anyway, so back to my love story. So anyway, so one night at the club, we were like bottle popping or whatever, and my husband was at the VIP table in front of us, and I thought he was like super cute. But I'm like super, super like a hick. Like I really like Spanish. Like I'm all about Spanish, like Spanish music, Spanish everything, right? So my husband, he's also Spanish, but he's more like he looks more black or whatever. And like he was dressed like in a baggy jersey and stuff like that. And I'm like super hick, like I really like preppy guys in a way. In a way, I kind of like leaned more towards preppy guys or whatever. But I saw my husband, I thought he was like super, super cute or whatever. So anyway, so I made myself available for he could hit on me because I am the type of person that if I like a guy, I will go and approach him, or like make myself in the facility to get approached. Obviously, he wouldn't have approached me on his own because we were at a table with way more money, way more substance than he was, and we were already surrounded by a whole bunch of guys. Like I think there was probably like 6 guys at our table, and his table only had 3 people, like 3 guys. Like, yeah, 3 guys, no, 4, yeah, 4 guys with him or whatever. And then he only had like one bottle in his table, and we had literally 9. So anyways, so I went like closer to his table so he can talk to me. But the thing is that I'm still like super preppy in my mind. Like I don't dance like reggaeton, like I don't dance like booty music with dudes because that's not my style. I don't do that. That's like for regular people. I dance like Spanish music, like I want to dance un merengue, una salsa, whatever, right? So and my husband, he was like super, super like drunk already with his boys, and I was like, and he was like, "Oh, okay, let's dance." But what was playing was like more like a hip hop song or whatever. So he was like, "Let's dance." I was like, "Nah, I don't dance to this." I was like, when a regular song comes up like a merengue or whatever, come get me to my table and I'll dance with you, right? And he was like, "Nah, I don't really dance that. I rather dance this." And I was like, "Nah, I don't dance this. I don't shake my ass on niggas, on dudes or whatever." And he's like, "But why not?" I'm like, "Cause I don't." And then he was like, "All right, fine, then I'll go get you." He's like, "I'll go get you when like the regular music goes on." So whatever. So regular music comes on, and my husband is, like I said, already like super drunk. He starts like fighting with some guy, like arguing that's in his table or whatever. So my best friend, that's the worst person ever, because she's like the worst wingman for any man ever. She doesn't like, she's like the preppiest, like snobby person. She's the nicest person ever. But to the rest of the world, she's like the snobbiest person ever, right? So as soon as she sees like my husband is like kind of getting into like an argument with his friend and like being all rowdy, she's like, "Do not go talk to that guy. Like, heck no. Like if he was like beneath us. And I'm like, I don't care. And I'm the type of person, when I think somebody's cute, I think somebody's cute, and I don't let nobody's opinion direct my opinion. Like that's my biggest default or benefit. If I think you're cute, I don't care what anybody tells me. I think you're cute. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't let nobody's opinions persuade me. So whatever. So I already think he's like super cute, right? So anyway, so then like probably like 20 more minutes go by or 30 more minutes go by, he starts arguing with his friend, and then like he sits back on his table and he's not dancing. So and I stand up again and I go closer to his table when the music that I want to dance to is on. So I'm kind of like nudging him, like, okay, like we're supposed to be dancing now, right? And he's like a horrible dancer. Like there's that dancing bad and then there's him, right? And then I'm like, but I'm gonna give it to him that he was probably super intoxicated at this point. So, anyways, so I'm like, okay, so whatever. So we start to like kind of dance or whatever, like two horrible like dances, and I'm just like, this guy cannot dance. And I'm like, let me go back to my table. But I'm like telling him, like, yo, you're supposed to take my number. And then he's like, oh, well, I'm about to leave. I'm like, all right, then take my number so you can call me another day. So he's like, okay, fine. So he gives me his phone or whatever, and we exchange numbers or whatever. And him and his friends are like still drunk and tipsy, and his friends like, oh, like telling him like, let's go because their bottles were done or whatever. So they leave, right? And perfect, they leave. So me and my friends, we stay in the club probably for like another hour or so with the table that we're in. Way too much makeup. It's okay. Don't worry about it. If it's way too much makeup for you, you don't have to wear it. Just know that at the end of the day, you don't have to wear it. But I will. I will wear it for the both of us. I'm gonna put on ruby blush. So then, so whatever. So then he leaves. He leaves, and like an hour later, we leave the club, right? So when we're leaving the club, I see him outside of the club with his friends and then 2 girls, right? And then, like I tell you guys, when I like a person, I like a person. I could care less, right? So then there's like 2 girls, and like one of the girls is like trying to like be all upon him or whatever, right? I'm not gonna fight for no man ever, ever in my life. Okay, I'm too grown for that. But as soon as I walk outside the club and I see him with the girl, and I see him like the girl and him or whatever leaning on his car. So we're walking by him, and his homeboy comes to like try to talk to one of my friends, And I look at him and I'm like, boyfriend, what are you doing with girls? And then he literally almost throws the girl off of the car. Literally almost throws the girls off of the car and grabs me, like grabs me by the hand and grabs me like, no, baby, what are you doing? What are you talking about? Like, I'm here waiting for you. I'm like, oh, sure, you're waiting for me, whatever. So then I make him and all of his friends literally sit outside of the car, outside of the club for like an hour and a half talking crap because I wanted those girls to leave. And those girls were like waiting for them because they wanted them to take them home. And I wasn't going to let that happen because I'm that petty. So whatever. So those girls ended up leaving like an hour and a half later because all his friends wanted to leave or they wanted to smash, and I wasn't gonna let him smash or leave, either or. So they just had to wait there. And after an hour and a half, I'm like, okay, well, nice to meet you. Call me tomorrow. I'm going home. And he's like, you're just gonna let me go home? I'm like, yep, goodbye, sir. And then it is all pretty much story from then. We've been together ever since then, never a day apart. Well, I mean, my husband's an engineer, so he doesn't really like live here. He was in town. So this is his thing. The thing is that he was in town for 14 days because he's an engineer and he didn't live in the city. So that's why he was so drunk and tipsy, because when he comes in town, he spends it with his boys, and he had an apartment here and he lived here. But he would be working for 28 days and then he would be home for 14 days. So he would come home for those 14 days, party with his friends, drink or whatever, and then he would go back on the boat, have no contact with the outside world, no drinking, no nothing, no girls, no nothing for a month. So whatever. So I told him, so when I met him, literally he was home. He had just gotten home maybe like 5 days in or whatever. So I told him, I was like, because he was like trying to woo me and all this stuff. So I was like, look, I was like, if you take me on 4 dates before you leave, before you go back to work, then we could like take this relationship a lot more serious. So literally, and he told me to get 2 days off work, and he planned to take off a day off of work, and he planned 4 dates in one day. So he planned breakfast, lunch, dinner, and was that 4 dates in one. So we went to four different big events. Like we went to breakfast, then we went to the movies, then we went go-kart racing, and then dinner again, something like that. So he planned like four big dates to like, make this relationship like serious and for me to take him serious. And we spent pretty much like almost every single day after that, like together. And then we've been together ever since. I knew like he was like totally my person because of his personality, everything he had to offer, and I really vetted him because obviously I was coming off of a failed marriage and I didn't want and I don't and I'm not a person that dates to date. Like I don't know how to be somebody's like friend or whatever. Literally, like we were planning to get married 3 months in, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the type of person, like, I have to take you seriously and you have to take me seriously, like, right away. Like, when people be like, oh, well, I've been dating somebody. No, I'm like such a person, like, I need to be clear of your intentions with me and what you want from me immediately. I don't beat around like the bush. You stop. So is that she? What? Yeah, stop hating. This is gross. Okay, don't look at it. You don't have to look at it. The best thing about the internet, the most important thing about the internet is that you don't have to be anywhere you don't want to be. It is as easy as exiting out of my panel and you may never have to see me again. That is the best thing of this invention called the internet. That if you don't want to see my makeup and you don't want to see my content, and you don't even want to hear my beautiful angelic voice, you can just literally exit out. And they even have the options of don't show me this person, I think. That is the greatest thing ever invented, right? That we have options. I'm setting everything down because I want to make sure that the makeup does not move, doesn't go anywhere, because you guys know I sweat like a little piggy pig. Look how beautiful. Look how beautiful. You know what? I'm gonna brain a little bit under the eyes, and then we're gonna pat it down again. But I'm gonna use the lightest color in the contour palette just to make sure it's bright right here. Aquí mismito. Then to make sure we don't have any flashback, we go back in with the brush, make sure it's all set. I love the classic way you put them in line. You go, girl. I girl, I've been doing this for too long. I've been literally online for the past, s- we're going on 7 years. 7 years, and trust me, before you get any love, unfortunately, on these platforms, you're gonna get so much hate. And you learn there's a lot of lonely ass people in the world, and some people get kicks out of trying to make you feel bad so they could feel validated. I don't know how that works, because to me, I think that doesn't work at all. Like, I don't know how trying to make somebody else feel bad makes you feel better. Like, I don't know how in the world of me going anywhere and calling you ugly will make me feel pretty. I don't know how that works. I don't know. I guess maybe I'm just too rational in my mind, but I don't know how me calling somebody else ugly will make me feel better. Like, if I call somebody fat, does it make me feel skinny? Like, it doesn't, like, at all. Yeah, maybe there might be fatter than me or skinnier than me, but it doesn't help me in any which way. So I don't know how that helps others, but I guess everybody has their own coping mechanism. So I've understood a while back that sometimes people need that in their lives in order to them continue to survive in whatever it is, the misery of their own lives. So if I can help somebody feel better about whatever craziness is going on in their lives by them coming on here and insulting me or trying to make me feel down, then I guess I'm okay with helping them. It is part of me giving my community service to them and knowing that I help somebody out. It makes them feel less alone when they put somebody down to their level. I know, but realistically, that doesn't help at all. That's like if I had one leg and I told somebody, "You only have one leg. Does it give me another leg?" No, like it doesn't really work that way. But I guess if the brain is a craziness, and I guess if that's what they put in their brain that's gonna make them survive or help them, then I guess it is what it is. But to me, that doesn't help at all. Me bringing out somebody else's flaws doesn't doesn't fix mine. If you have an insecurity or a flaw, all you can do is go out and try to fix that flaw. That's the only thing that's gonna fix it. Trust me, if I can fix my overweightness by willful thinking, then I would, but the steroids don't let me. If I can will myself into a size 10, I would. If I can criticize somebody into a size 6, I would. Well, I don't even want to be that. If I was in a size 8, I'll be happy. I would, but it doesn't work that way. If I can criticize somebody into wealth, into all my bills being paid, then I would. But unfortunately, the world doesn't work that way. And if I don't go out there and pay my bills won't get paid. Hopeful thinking ain't pay a bill. In French, I only know how to say bonjour. Parlez-vous français? Oui, oui, très bien. Son Brasilia. Fontaine. A little bit of makeup talks though. But I don't remember much. But I used to be very makeup fluent in French, but I haven't done that in probably in over 13 years, 14 years. I haven't had to speak makeup in French, makeup talk in French. All right, let's set our face with the oldie but the goodie, Urban Decay, and we're going to drench the face. Vamos a mojar esta cara. My customer said 12 o'clock and she's still not here. Hey, baby, don't forget to put parts of your mascara, eyebrows. I know you taught us. Top part of your eyebrow, mascara, eyeshadow. I'm gonna put on lashes today. So that's why I don't care if it's like messy because it's gonna get covered. It's gonna get covered. Imagine being that pathetic that all you get is this girl and random strangers. I know, but like I said, I understand sometimes life is hard. Like, trust me that I go through a sickness, so maybe I have more empathy than a lot of other people, but sometimes it's hard when you're going through something to 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 not lash out on the world or to figure out like the world owes you something, but the world doesn't owe us absolutely anything. Like, I think the biggest mistakes a lot of people do when they're like going through crises is to find who to blame or to say why me. Like, I hope I'm gonna I don't want to sin by saying that I've never said it because, I'm not perfect, but I hope I never find myself in a situation that I'm ever gonna ask myself or want to ask myself, why me? God, why me? Because at the end of the day, what makes me so special that I cannot go through stuff? Like, what us as human beings feel make us entitled to feel like we shouldn't suffer, like we don't have to go through battles, like we don't have to, we don't deserve the things that happen to us. Like, oh, we don't deserve this car accident. We don't, why don't you deserve it? What makes you so damn special out of all the freaking 8 billion people on this planet? You don't deserve to go through shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, what makes you so special? So I'm not into the factory of questioning God of why me. Obviously, do I wish that I never had this sickness and I don't have to go through all this bullshit that I'm going through? Of course, I'm only a human freaking being, but it is not my place to question why these things did happen to me or are happening to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna fix anything by supposedly figuring out why it happened to me. You know what I'm saying? What makes me so damn special that I can't suffer or go through shit, you know what I'm saying? So that's all I hope in my own mind, to not put myself in that situation of wondering why, you know? Because at the same time of me wondering why me, I could have had cancer. I could have had gotten shot. I could have gone through so many other situations, and at least I'm still here. I'm sorry. Sorry, I meant to text my husband before work. It's okay, baby girl. I'm going to hit the gym soon. Good for you, girl. Get that fitness on. Work out for the both of us. I did Tai Chi walking yesterday, if that helps any. Oh, I should do my lymphatic thing. Should I straighten my hair or should I curl it? Hey, baby, don't forget. Okay, I already read that. Like I said, sometimes we just focus on like all the wrong things, and instead of being just grateful for all the blessings that we have, thank God that we woke up today. Thank God that we made it today. Thank God that we have another breath, another opportunity to kiss our children, our loved ones, to see another day. But we're so worried about all the stuff that we don't have that we're not grateful for all the things that we do have. And like I said, I may be a little biased because obviously I'm living my life a little bit different than a lot of other people. Going through a sickness is totally hard, and you learn to appreciate things that you didn't have before. Like, you take so many things for granted, like being able to walk from here to the bathroom without any pain as a normal thing, being able to run a mile, being able to just open a can of something, or everybody takes that for granted. But when you don't have that ability, then you start to notice, like, damn, like, why are these things so hard and so rough for me, you know what I'm saying? That everybody else finds it like breathing. And I don't expect somebody that's never lived through it to understand it, even though people have empathy and they can, you guys can what's the word or whatever, empathize with it or whatever. you'll never know the truth until you're in those person's shoes, you know? Like sometimes I wish, and it's not because my husband doesn't appreciate me or treats me like freaking wonderful, because he is freaking amazing and he is very understanding for the most part, but he'll never understand what I go through unless he could live in my shoes for one day, you know? And I know if he would live in my shoes for one day, his whole life or perspective would change. And like I said, I could not in this world ask for a better partner, somebody more understanding than the husband that I do have, because I truly believe like he would have probably left me, or if he was a lesser man, he would have left me when literally I was almost paralyzed. I barely could walk. We couldn't figure out what I had. Like, he doesn't want me to work. He wants me to stay home. He tries to provide for me and do everything he can in his own way, even though both of our worlds changed overnight once I gotten sick. And like I said, a lesser man could have probably left me, because I went from being on a yacht, popping bottles, to almost paralyzed in less than 4 days and couldn't figure it out for almost a month. And it's been 7 years since then of our 14 years together, you know? Living with somebody who's perfectly healthy, willing to do every craziness in the world, to being with somebody who can barely walk a mile. Even though I am the same person, I'm not the same person. And even though he's the same person, he's not the same person, you know? And the things that we used to do together, we cannot do together, you know? So it was a big change for both of us, you know? But like I said, I could not have asked for a better partner in life till now. And like I said, if he ever wants to leave me because of my sickness, I could never judge him for that, even though obviously it would hurt me more than anything in this world now after so long, you know. I feel like, being 100% honest with you guys, if my husband would have left me at the beginning of my sickness, I would have been able to take it easier, like the rejection, or him not being able to put up with my sickness. I would have understood it at the beginning of it, but now so many years later that I almost 100% depend on him, it would like almost kill me if he was to leave me, you know? Not only because, obviously, not just because I love him, but just because I know that he is my support system, you know? But I do believe that it's very draining on him, and it takes a lot of him to support me and to still love me through everything. But like they said, love is for health, for sickness, and for health. And you know somebody, like they say, you never know somebody until the end, or until you're sick or in jail. And like I said, I could never blame him, because being with somebody who, when you marry somebody who is like energetic or outgoing, and then that person ends up having to change who they totally are for a whole different person, you have to understand that it's not only hard for the person that is sick, it's also hard for the person that is living with that sick person, you know? Or we're just gonna straighten our hair because I don't want to do too much. All right, let me see. Damn, baby, you got a good man. I do. I can't even complain. I have a great man. I'm not gonna say that he's perfect, because by no means is he perfect, but by no means am I perfect. But like I said, he's the type of man that if he had to pick me up and literally clean me, he would. You know what I'm saying? And he's, like I said, stuck by me no matter what. You know what I'm saying? But the same thing I have done for him as well. Maybe not to a sickness extreme, but I let him be the man, let him lead us, let him play his role that he deserves and he needs, you know? But like I said, nothing is perfect. There's no perfect relationship. There's no perfect anything, you know? And I feel like love in a relationship is always a choice. And it's something that you have to wake up every single day and pick that person. And that's what I feel like us as human or modern people, we don't understand. Every single day I make the choice to fall in love with my husband, to love him, to only want to be with him, to only want to cater to him, you know what I'm saying? But that is a choice that I do. I can wake up tomorrow and say I don't want to be with this man and I no longer love him, and little by little my love will start to dissipate because those are choices that we make, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like it takes two people. Number one, it takes two people to be in love and to be in a relationship, but it also takes you to want to be in one, you know what I'm saying? It cannot be one-sided. So I wake up every single day with the choice that I only want to be with this man and I only want to honor this one man. And that is always like my goal in my mind, at least in my relationship. So that's why I know that if we do break up or we don't work out, it would really break me because I know that I take the effort to every day want to make sure that I love my husband and I honor him every single day, you know? And yes, there's always going to be people who are richer than him, finer than him, more handsome than him, or nicer than him, or whatever it may be, you know? But there's only one him, you know? There's only one him and there's only one me. And like I said, he's been willing and able to love me through everything, through me gaining weight, losing weight, you know, being sicker, being healthier, having more energy, whatever it may be, you know? And like I said, not every man will stick with you through those hard times, you know? And so now I am very blessed that he's never really thrown it in my face or anything like that when there's days that I literally cannot move or I can't do something, you know? He's been very patient, very human, you know? Obviously, like every human, I'm sure that he probably gets frustrated or wish that I wasn't sick or wish that I was back to the old person or the person he met. I don't doubt that because that's a human thing to do, you know? To want me to be the old me, you know? I want me to be the old me all the time. I love it. My husband is the same. Then you are blessed and literally, like I tell you guys, if you guys have a good man or a good whatever, and don't ever, I think the mistake also that this generation has is that we're afraid to love. We're afraid to love. We're afraid to be in love. We're afraid to be vulnerable. Listen, there is beauty in vulnerability. There is beauty in all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no, there has to be risk. You know, obviously, I will always tell the woman, and I normally tell you, especially at the beginning of the relationship. I don't want to say at the end or after years. You know, but at the beginning of the relationship, I will always tell the woman that the man has to love you more than you love him. Just because a man is fine or he's rich or whatever, I wouldn't go for that at all. I would go for the man who loves me more because it is so important for the man to be in love with you, because a woman is most likely able to stay with a man without any love. She's willing to put up with more crap and stuff like that than a man is, you know what I'm saying? And in order for a man to not sway, to not cheat, to not disrespect you, is a man that is in love. Because if a man is in love with you, he will go through fire hoops. It's in his DNA to do anything in his power to keep you. And if that man is not doing all those things and you're doing all those things for him, then that is not the man for you. Like I told you guys, when I met my husband, I told him he had to plan 4 dates. And this is a man that didn't plan crap. He didn't do anything for any other woman. Like when I tell his mom the stories or the stuff that he did for me or does for me, like his mom's like, who the hell are you? And what did you do with my son? My son doesn't do that for anybody. My son is not like that, you know? And he did all these things that he's never done for other women for me, you know? So, you know, when a man wants you, he's wants you and he's gonna do things for you. And if that man cannot even pick up a phone or text you, that man does not want you. Right, OMG, we are twins because there's my belief. That is my belief. You have, and like I said, there's vulnerability in falling in love. And I'm never gonna regret. Let's say if me and my husband for some reason end up, I don't know if you guys can hear me, let me know. So I was a naturalist that I had order. I don't know if you guys can hear me, let me know. So I was a naturalist that I had ordered some natural pills because I'm telling you, I'm on an organic thing. So I ordered some natural pills, and the naturalist doctor, I guess, called me to go through a plan. I don't know why he's calling me already because I've done already wasted almost $200 on medication yesterday. Hopefully that's it because I'm not buying any more until I figure this one out. Did you give him a second opportunity? Wait, what if the person cheated on you due to being afraid of love? Okay, tell me if you guys can hear me. So, cheating, it's something super, super hard for me. Super, 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 super hard for me. But I can forgive cheating. So let's say in my own, let's say my own personal relationship, and I'm being very personal, like in my own personal relationship, if I was to find out tomorrow that my husband cheated on me, most likely I wouldn't tell him this, but I would probably forgive him if it was a one time affair. Like literally he went out to a club, he went out to an event, and or he went on vacation and he got involved with a girl and he slept with a girl. I can forgive that. Hopefully I never find out, but I can move on from that. I can forgive that. I can totally understand because men are creatures of physical affection or whatever and validation. I can forgive that. Now, if I found out that my husband had an affair with the same woman 4 to 5 times, like they conversate on the phone, they're chatting, he's telling her baby or I love you, and having like a full on blown relationship with her, I don't think I can forgive that because that is true infidelity for me. That is you played me like a fool. You played my relationship. You played with my feelings. You're telling somebody else that you love them and you're giving them the same love and affection that only should belong to me. So that I cannot forgive, but I can forgive a sexual affair. Like you just slept with somebody for one time, you got drunk or you went out and you met somebody. I can forgive that. Now, an affair that went on for like 2, 3 months, and like I said, you're like conversating with the person and the person's believing that y'all both in this relationship together and he's your man and you're my man, that is going to be a lot harder for me to forgive. It depends on what stage of my relationship I was on. Now, if it wasn't a point of my relationship that happened, let's say, and we weren't being intimate with each other and we were going through things like real things, like we were sleeping in different rooms or and we haven't been intimate, me and you, and I know we were going through some problems and you had that emotional affair with somebody else, then maybe I can forgive you because I know that we were going on through things. But if literally I thought that everything was good and me and you are chilling and we're having intercourse and then you're leaving my house and having intercourse with somebody else, I don't think I can forgive that because then I would feel like disrespected. Like you just played me like a fiddle in my own face. Like, why were you having sex with somebody else when you were having sex with me? Now me and you weren't having sex for 2 to 3 months and you were feeling that with somebody else, then maybe I can be more understanding because I am very, very practical and I am very, very, I can compartmentalize in a lot of things in a way. Obviously, it's going to hurt me and I'm going to feel some type of way, but I can fathom it. I can maybe move past it. But just an infidelity on its own, like just know that you played me for a fool. No, because it's not about the cheating or the sex with somebody else. It's the fact that I feel like you played me for a fool. Like you made me think that we're madly in love, and what else can you do to me in my face? And I not realize it. So I don't think I could move past it in that way. But if those other two things, I can move past it. Thank you. I needed to hear that. Yeah. So those are the things that I feel like in infidel in that. But number one thing, and I will always tell you, is to have communication because I'm the type of person that if I don't most women or people in general, we think that the other person knows exactly how we feel and all these things. They don't know how you feel and they can maybe assume, but until you don't speak about it and literally have it leave your mouth and put it into words, you're not gonna get over it. You know what I'm saying? Because then you're always gonna carry that with you. So if you are gonna forgive him, um, if you are gonna forgive him, then you need to still speak about it and tell him, look, I'm gonna move on from it. I'm gonna try to make this new, but you need to do these things in a way, give him ultimatums, like don't ever let me feel this way again. You know what I'm saying? And know that he's truly sorry for it, you know what I'm saying? Because a man also, they take a hold of thinking that you're there. Like even though like I tell you guys, like, I don't want to say I'm psycho because obviously I'm a woman, so I am psycho. But even though my husband to me is like the best, he treats me the best. I feel amazing. I feel like he's everything and like he supports me through everything. I still tell him all the fucking time. Like sometimes I'll be like, yo, I'm that bitch and you better value me because any man will want to have me. Just to put pressure on him, just for him to know that no matter what, even though he's secure, he always has to believe that he's not secure. You know what I'm saying? Like they always have to have a afraid that damn he could lose you, you know? Like it's part of the man hunt, you know? Like they have to know that any they could lose you, you know? Like I tell him, you could still lose me, just joking, but I still tell him, just for him to always know that, he don't have me like that, don't ever take me for granted, I am still the prize no matter what, just because a true man who's an alpha man who's a provider. Like I said, because like I will always say, my husband, thank God he is a provider. He is a attractive man. He's still very young. He's still very vibrant, And obviously, I'm still beautiful and vibrant and young too, but I'm not healthy, I can't go out and club with him and drink all night like like I used to or whatever, So our relationship is also in a different stage. So obviously he can have any 20-year-old move her into my house and have her living my luxury life and live that young, vibrant life. You know what I'm saying? So you have to also, and I have to also be aware of that and understand that. You know what I'm saying? But I have to be able to. He knows that he has that security and that true love with me. You know what I'm saying? And what I will always tell women as well is that cheating on a man or on a woman is a choice. You know what I'm saying? There is no man that can be kept if the man doesn't want to be kept. The man has to want to not cheat on you, has to want to value your marriage, has to want to honor you, to not mess that up, Like I said, even though I tell you guys sometimes, I'm willing to put up with infidelity or I'm willing to forgive that. I will never tell that man that. I will not. I tell him the day you cheat on me is the day I walk out of this house. If you don't want to be with me, you let me know. If you don't feel loved or comfortable, let me know. Don't disrespect me. Don't make me look like a fool. Hello, beautiful. Hello. He's going to know if he watches the live. I tell him all the time, it's just for the live. It's just for the live. I don't believe in that crap. He doesn't watch my lives as often because he tries to give me my emotional space. But I know when he watches my lives. I know when he goes back and he watches some of my lives because then he'll like tell me something. I'm like, yo, why you in my lives? Why you in my business for? Are you very beautiful, inspirational woman? Thank you, my love. But trust me, I am by no means, and I know I sound like a broken record. I am no by no means I am not perfect. I am learning every single day, just like you guys. I'm trying to make it just like you guys. Don't ever put me on a pedestal because I will let you the freak down because I am no perfect. I get tired just like everybody else. I want to give up just like everybody else. I go through crap just like everybody else. I feel pain just like everybody else, even though maybe I can handle a little bit more pain than others. Trust me, there's days that I want to say freak the world, freak my husband, even freak my kids sometime. I couldn't live without her, but sometimes I tell her too, I need a mental break from you. I need 5 minutes, that I know that she's literally like the air that I breathe. But still sometimes I want even time away from her. Nobody is perfect, my friend. Life, I know. But like I said, we have to sometimes go through the hardship in order to appreciate the good times. We're as human beings, we're so narcissistic or we're so horrible to ourselves that even though we're having a awesome month, like we're the type of people that we're gonna be having like an awesome month and we're be like the same people be like, oh my God, what's going on with the world? I'm having such a good month. Instead of just appreciating it and being happy with being happy, we find a defect in being happy. Like something has to be able to go wrong because everything can't be this perfect, this good. We can't take the good times. So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes we have to have bad moments in order to appreciate the good. Because if we only lived in a fantasy world that everything went perfect and nothing ever went bad, then number one, we wouldn't be who we are. And then number two, We wouldn't appreciate it. We'd be like, "Oh, everything's always so perfect. I'm always so happy. Everything's always amazing." That when you have the good times, you don't even appreciate it. So that's why sometimes the cruelty of life, we have to go through a hard time in order to mold us, to prepare us for the good moment. Sometimes you have to go bankruptcy before you can become a millionaire in order to know how to never get back there. You know what I'm saying? And I know we're gonna cry a lot, we're gonna suffer a lot sometimes through the hard times and through the pain. But when we get to the other side, we'll be so much more aware and we'll be so much more grateful for it. Thank you, my love. Thank you for team. Team. And trust me, I'm one of those people. I'm going through too much of the the painful moments. It's been 7 years of this sickness that I'm dying for it to go away, for I can have a good 7 years. But patience comes to those who wait, and I am trying to work on that inch of patience. I'm holding on to that hope that good things come to those who wait. I'm new here to your stream. Thank you, my love. Make sure you hit that follow button and subscribe. I am trying to make it to 2,000 subscribers. I do try to come every single day to talk crap with you guys. I was supposed to have my customer at 12 o'clock and she didn't show up yet. So I'm hoping that she's going to show up soon. But at least I got to do my hair and makeup. So I'm ready for the day. My next customer is at 2. So I had her at 12 and then I had one at 2. And another 2 o'clock will show up. You'll be fine. Thank you, my love. I'm going to hold on to that. To that belief that I will be fine. I will survive. Tell me how you get on. I'm so sad that I haven't had music on because, YouTube be banning me. They don't want to share my stream when I be having music on. That's the only thing that I loved about TikTok is the fact that you could play music without it restricting you. Restricts you for a million other things, but music is not one of them. All right, I'm gonna leave it like this because, anyways, once I get hot and I start attending to my customers, this hair is gonna go up. I love your makeup. Thank you, my love. I'm just gonna do a little glossy for you guys. I'm not gonna do a lippy. I was gonna do like a burgundy, but I forgot. I haven't even ate yet. And you guys know, if you guys know me, you guys know that I hate to eat with any type of lipstick on. Is those your eyes? No, they're contacts. And they are available on our website, lazycosmeticsfb.com. They're almost sold out, if not already sold out. They're only $16 and they're only for cosmetic use only. You take them out every night and day. You take them out. I was gonna say Thursday. I was like, happy Friday. Hi, sis. How are you? Hi, T sis. Have you missed me? Haven't seen you in forever, my love. Very cute. Thank you, my love. All right, you guys. So this is the final look. I'm gonna go record like 3 videos of Cheese Man. Make sure you guys like those and subscribe. I miss you very much. Me too, baby girl. Life has just been life and though. So let me go set up this booth over here. I think she's my first customer. She's gonna do a full face. Anyways, I love you guys. I adore you guys. Like I said, I had a brain, but God healed me. Amen. And I receive it. I know that I will receive my healing from God sooner than later. All I need is to continue to have faith and to believe. Everything is possible in the eyes of God or in the hands of God. So thank you guys. I adore you. My Jessie, my darling, how are you? I know I was live super, super early. But remember, tomorrow is Saturday. So normally Saturdays I do come live early. Make sure you guys turn on your notifications. If you guys, I did record on YouTube. If you guys want to see today's makeup look and how I did it on my cheeseman. And today I told my whole little story of how I met my husband. If you guys want to know that cheeseman, go to YouTube and watch my last live video. I'm including you in my prayers. Thank you, my love. Thank you, Jesus. Yes, healing for dermatomyositis for me. I wish to find a cure and a healing in this body of mine in the name of Jesus that I know that will happen whenever the time is right. Anyways, you guys, goodbye. Love you guys. Remember, treat others how you want others to treat you, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve it. Remember that you are smart, you are amazing, you are brilliant, you are worthy, you are more than enough. You are everything in a box of Cheerios, and don't let anybody tell you other than that. No one can dictate your future, your ways, your anything but you. Only you can change your own destiny. Just always know that. You're one step away from whatever is your potential. All right, you guys. Love you. Bye.